Hello, this is RV Vagabond Jerry, and this is my third and final set of videos of scenes floating down the Nile. And this third set is starting at Amarna and ending up in Cairo. So I'm going to film various scenes I see along the way. I spend a lot of my free time up here on the top deck. So I'm only going to video some of the significant things that I see as we're floating along going north. So let's take a look at what it looks like from this point on. Well folks, we are now a little ways north of Amarna, heading towards Cairo. And as you can see here, the lushness of the shores of the Nile in some areas here is very thin. Here is another bridge coming up, and that is a police vehicle. The police always watch us go under bridges to make sure nobody tosses anything over as we're going under, which is nice of them to do. There she goes.
The sandbag, if you look at the water and the way it moves with the wind. So they just move from one end to the other. There are places in the water, see how deep the water is, are there any sandbags, and they are shouting to each other now. You might think that they are fighting or shouting. No, they are just speaking.
This is the city of Malawi on the west bank we're coming upon here, and on the east bank it looks much more green. Here in Malawi, as everywhere else, you can see that the buildings are mostly that brown brick. Just about all the buildings in all the cities I've seen are mostly built with bricks. And the ladies come down here to the river from their home that is just like right there and wash their dishes right in the river. There's some more ladies washing their pots and pans and their clothes right in the river. And then they hang their clothes right onto the balcony of their homes. No washing machine, no dryer. That's the way they like to do it here. And here's the next town we go by. Sheikh Abada, or something similar to that pronunciation. And all of these towns we're going by seem to be pretty large sized towns. And there's always kids hollering at us. This is the next city, Kalandu. They are just so happy to see us. It's like this is the highlight of their day. I'll show you where we are on the map. We left Calandul just a little while ago. That blue dot is where we are, and we're now coming into the town of Abu Kirkis, and then Mansafis, and then Minya is where we're going to spend the night. So here is that next town I mentioned on the map, and looks like we have a couple islands here that we need to dodge. That one and a larger one over there. Here's a closer view of that city. And by the way, I heard that the farmers here are free to just pump water or somehow dig a ditch to irrigate water right out of the Nile. It's just an unlimited source of water. So everyone who lives or works along the Nile is free to use it. Just noticed the homes here look a lot brighter than in the last few cities I've gone by. A lot more white on the outside of the buildings. We're a little way south of Minya, and I found some interesting buildings. That one and that one. I've seen a lot of them that look like that, but none that look like that. I don't know what that one is. And then over here, there is what looks like a planetarium or something like that. And then here we got a satellite dish twirling around. Yes, this is definitely Minya. So we'll be pulling in for the night in just a few minutes. Here's another odd building in Minya. A pyramid of sorts. I assume that's the way they meant to build it. This is the East Bank. And coming up on the west bank is the city of Matai, or Matay. Boy, that looks refreshing about now. Some kind of a temple, a mosque. It's got to be a mosque. And this looks like a cemetery. Got more of these towers with loudspeakers. And by the way, you see a whole lot of these water towers. These water towers are just everywhere near a city. These look like some ruins here too. They love seeing these big boats go by. Here's one of those water pumps I was telling you about. They just pump the water out of the river and it irrigates their whole crops there. They do really well in irrigating the fields here. Well, now we're coming upon the city of Bani Mazar, and they have a bridge across the Nile. I'm going to get the video. There's the policeman up there watching us. See, another policeman. They're watching out for us. Here's some shots of the city on both sides of the river. There's a cherry-colored steeple. Nice baby blue. That's an interesting building there. So I can't tell if it's residential or commercial. One kind of strange thing is that it's so hard to tell if buildings like this are still being constructed or if they're abandoned and probably going to get torn down. That's a police boat. We see those every once in a while following us along. Next is the East Bank city of Al-Haba. By the way, in case you don't know, the Nile is the only river in the world that flows from south to the north. And it flows starting at Lake Victoria in Uganda to the Mediterranean Sea. There's no bridge across the river at this city, but they do have a ferry going. Are they whistling at me? I don't know if these are sightseeing cruisers or what, but they don't have many customers. There's the cars and trucks getting off of the ferry. Wow, they've got a lot of boats lined up along here. Same kind of boats. I wonder what those are used for. Here's an interesting cityscape. Up against the mountainside there. There's deserty mountains on one side and the lush Nile on the other. Well, this looks like a prison here along the Nile. Got those watchtowers in the corner. Not sure, but that's what it looks like to me. Here's a plant where they make the bricks. Got a big stockpile of bricks there. How do you like this little hut? Well, that's one of the biggest little huts I've seen. Well, folks, we have floated many, many miles while I was sleeping. So now we're coming upon the city of Al-Wasta, which has a bridge here we're going to be going under in just a few minutes. Wow, look at this. We've got a really long pier going out into the river. I heard that all these ladies have running water in their homes, but they still like to come down to the river to wash their pots and pans as a social thing with the other ladies in the neighborhood. Coming up on another bridge here, and we are now about 30 miles south of Cairo. Here's a nice house. Swimming pool. Here's an unusually colored house. You don't see many with bright colors. And here's a pink one. Well, folks, we pulled into Cairo while I was downstairs having lunch, so I didn't get a chance to do any more dramatic videos of pulling into Cairo. But here we are, and we docked right across the street from the city jail. You see that lookout tower? I asked the guide and he said this is the city jail, and it's right between a lot of residential buildings, high-rise residential buildings there and on the left side of it. So they've all got a good view of the jail. Now, we are on the south side of Cairo. There's a lot of bridges across the river in Cairo, and a lot of them have low bridges, so we can't go much further than this. So today they're taking us on a tour through the city, mainly to see some museums and Coptic Christian churches. The Coptic Christians are about 15% of the population, and Muslim is the other 85%. And Cairo is a city of about 25 million people, which is about 1/4 of the whole population of Egypt. Well, folks, I hope you have enjoyed these 3 videos I've done of scenes cruising the river from Aswan to Cairo. Good day, folks.